Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last few videos, I have discussed about void pointer and null pointer. I hope you have watched those two videos. If you did not watch those two videos or if you don't know what is a void pointer and null pointer, I request you to go back and watch those two videos and come back to this video. In this video, I want to discuss about two more types of pointer, which is void pointer and dangling pointer. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me define what is a pointer. Pointer is a variable which holds the address of another variable. Let's assume that you have declared an integer pointer. The integer pointer can holds the address of an integer variable. So it is pointing to some variable address. Similarly, if you have declared a float pointer, it will holds the address of a float variable. Now let me discuss what is a wild pointer. A wild pointer can also be called as uninitialized pointer. Meaning is that you have not assigned address of any variable. If you are not assigned any address of a variable or you did not initialize a null value, if you would have initialized a null value, we will call it as a null pointer. If it is uninitialized pointer, then it will point to some arbitrary location. If it is locating to an arbitrary location, then sometimes the program will misbehave. So that is what about the wild pointer. So let me discuss these points. Wild pointer is also known as uninitialized pointer. These pointers usually point to some arbitrary memory location and may misbehave also. Let me discuss small example for you. You have written hash include stdio.h and void main. Now you have declared an integer pointer and then you are writing the statement p is equal to 10. Am I right? Or let's take that you are writing p is equal to 10. If you write p is equal to 10, then we will assume that 10 is the memory location. But you are writing star p is equal to 10, meaning is that whatever the memory location it is pointing. Suppose let's take that you have written int n and you have written int star p is equal to ampersand n. Then if you have written star p is equal to 10, meaning is that in this variable n, whatever the value earlier is there, it will be replaced with the value 10 because this is a dereference operator. So it will go to the memory location. What is the memory location? The address of the variable n is there. So in that memory location or in this address, you are assigning the value 10. But here if you are writing like this, let me close it. Now look at this one. This is an uninitialized pointer because you have declared the pointer without any value you have assigned. Either you have not assigned null. If you would have assigned a null, then we will call this pointer as a null pointer. If you would have assigned the address of some variable like this, then also it is good. But this is an uninitialized pointer, so we will call this as a wild pointer. Okay, so if you write like this, then this program will misbehave or even it will give a segmentation error. I hope you have understood what is a wild pointer, which is an uninitialized pointer, what kind of problems it will create. It will be pointing to some arbitrary location. Let's look at this one. You have declared a variable. You have not assigned any value to it. Let's assume that it is a local variable. Then if you write the statement print of %d n, then what value it will print? It will print a garbage value, means some random value it will print because you have not assigned any value to it. If you would have assigned some value to it, then that value would have been printed. But here you did not assign, so it will give a garbage value. Similarly, if you have not initialized some value or some memory location to the pointer, then it will be pointing to some arbitrary location. So then this program will misbehave or it will give an error for you. So I hope you have understood what is a void pointer. Now let me discuss what is a dangling pointer. It is a pointer which points to some non-existing memory location. Is it clear? You have created a memory dynamically. You have released that memory. Now whatever the pointer which is pointing to that memory Now that memory is not there, then this pointer is pointing to some non-existing memory. That kind of pointers we will call it as dangling pointers. Let me discuss with a simple example. Let's assume that you have declared memory of 20 bytes using a malloc function. So let's assume that you have written statement that int star p is equal to int star, you are doing the typecasting because a malloc function will return a void pointer, so you are doing the typecasting, and then let's assume that you have specified 20. Then 20 bytes of memory will be allocated and the starting address will be assigned to this variable p, which is a pointer, if memory has been successfully created. If the memory is not successfully created because of some issue, this malloc function will return a null value, then pointer p will holds the value null. Then we will call it as a null pointer. Okay. Now let's assume that the memory has been successfully created from 100th byte to 119 byte. Okay. Then this pointer p will have the addresses 100 because the starting location value will be there in this pointer p. So now I can say that the pointer p is pointing to this dynamically allocated memory. You have done several tasks in this one. At the end of the program, it is our duty to release the dynamically allocated memory. Am I right? So we know that we have a function called free and we have to specify the pointer here. So whatever the memory location this pointer is pointing, that memory you are releasing. Is it clear? Now once you release it, this memory has been deallocated. Are you able to understand it or not? Once it is deallocated, still this pointer p is having the address 100. So it is pointing to a non-existing memory location because already we have released the memory. Now this pointer p is having the address which is non-existing. So this pointer we will call it as a dangling pointer. So then what we should do? After using this statement called free, you should write p is equal to null. Then null value will be assigned instead of 100. Now this one we will call it as a null pointer which is not pointing to any memory location. Look at here. You have written p is equal to null. So it is not pointing to any memory location. So this one we will call it as a null pointer. I hope you have understood what is a void pointer, what is a dangling pointer, how to avoid the dangling pointer. If you still have any doubts related to these two concepts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.